What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to another video, and as you guessed it, it is going to be talking about Street Outlaws, fastest in America. Probably the title of the video, you already know what it's about. Before I get started, I do want to mention a couple things. Number one is I am working on a place inside to do some of these videos where I can do more detailed editing and may even have a green screen to where we can go back and watch some of the clips and the videos and stuff and break them down, you know, right there on the screen in HD. That is my goal for the near future, and I hope that we can see that happen. I think it will add a lot to the channel. Let's just jump straight in.
Just because we're dumbasses don't mean you can be too. So don't do anything we do at home.
Public service announcement. These videos have the full intentions to be used as conversational tools and purposes only. Anything that is expressed in these videos and videos before and after has the sole purpose of that reason. I know a lot of this stuff is repetitive. I hope that you can understand that. Again, these are for conversational purposes only. The comment box on these videos is for that purpose. Thanks for watching. I did not make a video the first week of Street Outlaws Fastest in America because I just didn't know how to make the video when there was so many people that most of the people that's watching this channel hasn't heard of. Not to say they aren't real street, legit, you know, racers, because majority of them are, but it just wasn't good content for me to put out. And I may not even be telling you anything you don't know or that isn't common sense, but I do want to kind of refresh your memory on a few things. Yes, this is the biggest televised street race, or organized street race in history. It is badass. I agree. I do enjoy it. There is some more well-known teams and people out there, and they done a good job as far as who they put on the show, with one exception, and it's pretty simple and easy. Why is the 405 not there? That's the biggest question. I have seen a lot of speculations in social media about why they wasn't there, and one of the main ones that I have heard a lot was JJ just doesn't consider them to be real street racers anymore. They're more movie stars or track racers or no prep racers than they are street racers, and that's why they didn't get invited. Well, if that's the case, why is NOLA and Team Texas there? I don't get it. There is more stipulations of that he just didn't want them to come and steal the show, that they just wasn't invited because he didn't want them there, that he knew they'd win. There's a lot of different speculations that have been put out there, and I don't know if any of them's true. I have no idea why the 405 isn't there. They might have turned it down. I don't see that happening, but that might be it. I do feel like the 405 collectively is faster than most every one of those teams. They have proved it over and over again, including Memphis. And I don't understand why they are not one of the 8 teams. There's a bunch of small tire cars there, which the first week I'll give it to them. They did win. A lot of technicalities, a lot of back and forth, a lot of, pulled out just barely wins, but nonetheless, it was a win. So they are fast, but they're not NOLA, 405, Texas, and even Memphis fast. So I don't get why they're not there. If you know really why they aren't there, send it to me to my email address, and I will let everyone else know if it does have some sort of credibility with your reason why they're not there. This is not the first time that this has been done as far as the way JJ's doing it. It is the most money, but not the first time it's been done. The 405 had the nationwide call out about season 5, and this would have been the time that Chief said no more pro mods. When that was over, the 405 won it, and he pulled his little team, off to the side and said, Pro Mods isn't real street, so no more Pro Mods, and they got kicked off the list. He didn't even bring Pro Mods to this particular race. But the way that one worked was everybody put in, was it $5,000 for the pot? It ended up being a $50,000 purse. They had the Southeast, they had North, they had New York, they had Detroit, they had California. They had a bunch of different people there, and the 405 did win it. And their whole point in that show or that event was to see if they was collectively the fastest group on the planet, and they proved that there was. And with that being said, it was a same type thing where with JJ it's the first one to 7. I think it was the first one to 4 or 5 when it come to the one that the OKC put on, because there's going to be flukes all the time. Somebody that's not supposed to win is going to win. The street is the equalizer, but also if somebody has a nitrous backfire at the starting line, that you can't chop that up to the street as the equalizer. That is just bad luck. So there is more factors into it than the street is the equalizer, but the street really does equalize a lot of things, as we've seen the first week. But this has been done, just not on this level, and even if they win, they aren't the fastest in the world until they race the 405 again. I don't see how on JJ's show he hasn't got the 405 to come race him. Now, the original Street Outlaws has raced Memphis 2 or 3 times, but when it comes to Memphis's, they have not raced the 405. So let's flip-flop it and see if Memphis really is what they say they are. One more thing I want to say before I end this video about how this is being handled. Okay, these 8 teams have to race all the way down to there's one winner, and that team gets a chance at Memphis for $100,000. So basically, Memphis only has to win once for the $100,000, where whoever wins, which it is going to be NOLA, whichever wins has to race and win collectively 3 times before they get that opportunity. If these cars get broke, they're kicked, they don't even get a chance to race. Where all of Memphis's cars is going to be tip-top 100. NOLA has beat on their cars for, 3 or 4 different weeks to get to that point, and where JJ and them is pulling in fresh cars. Instead of 8 teams, there would have been 7 plus Memphis, and Memphis ought to put himself in the pot and had to draw to get a chance at the $100,000 in the finale versus him automatically going to the finale. That's like, a team going to the racetrack and having buy runs all the way to the finale and not having to do anything, and then step in there, swing for the fences, hit it, and win. My biggest thing is if, we've seen what happened with Bobby Ducote, and if 3 or 4 of NOLA's cars end up in that same situation, the faster cars are the ones that make solid A to B passes, then how is that fair when NOLA has 2 or 3 of his fastest ones out and JJ has every one of his ready, sitting on kill, ready to make the pass, walk out with $100,000 and didn't do nothing for it? I don't get it. They are agreed to these rules, so it is what it is. This was the rules. JJ sent the invitation. If they accepted, they understand the rules, and I haven't heard anybody say anything about it on the show. I've heard a lot of people talking outside, in social media, to me, and just collectively, I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but on the show it has not been addressed, so it is what it is. But any answers you have to anything that I've just asked or talked about, or any comments you want to let me know or talk about, send it to the email address that's on the screen, or the comment box is always open. And I'm going to end this one right here, and I want everyone to just stop and think about what all I've said and let me know really what you think about it, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't get, but like I said there at the end, all 8 of these teams knew what they was getting into, knew what they was signed up for, and they agreed to it. So it's too late. It's done been aired. It was in August, I want to say, is when this actually was filmed. So I just want to know how everything played out like it did and why Memphis was not in the bracket to race their way in. Thank you for watching. Godspeed, and I'll see you in the next video.